Well, we might as well get starting here. Today our theme is, well, today we're actually going to be talking about two things. One is biometric-based NFTs, and we have our in-house specialist, Sasha, who has given quite a few talks on it and written quite a few papers on this, so um, it'll be good to pick her brain a bit. And for the second half of the program, we'll be talking a little bit more about the testnet. And we will have Dimitri here, and Dimitri is here, who has been doing a wonder in helping everybody out. So I'm quite sure he has some things that he can share with us all. So, anyway, let's get this started. Sasha, welcome to the Fireside.
Hello, Humanodes. I'm glad to be here, not only as a listener, but as a speaker.
Yes, you're always here as a good
Finally,
listener.
the goddess of
But
wisdom shed her light
now,
upon us.
yeah, now we can get your wisdom installed in us. So, Sasha, just as an opener here, and I know many do know the answer, but some might not. When you say a biometric-based NFT, what exactly are you talking about?
I think we need to start firstly to talk about what is NFTs here, for those who are a little bit behind of time. What do you think?
Okay, go ahead.
So NFTs, we all are witnessing this NFT craze this year, as NFT market has boomed with sales topping for $10 billion in the third quarter. And digital artists are seeing their lives change thanks to huge sales to a new crypto audience. And celebrities are joining in as they spot a new opportunity to connect with fans. We saw Elon Musk tweeted an NFT techno song, and Jack Dorsey sold an NFT presenting his very first tweet. And these are just some notable examples. Talking about the latest news, cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase and auction house Sotheby's, which has been around like since 18th century, both announced they'd be launching non-fungible token marketplaces. So I guess you're questioning what this hype is all about. Why are collectors willing to spend millions on JPEGs that can be easily copied and downloaded for free? So NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, are unique assets that can be replaced with something else and are verified and stored using blockchain technology. They can include everything from art, music, in-game collectible to a website domain, real estate, or even genetic data. Money is fungible because there is no distinction between $1 and another. Stocks of the same sort in the same company and commodities of the same quality are often interchangeable. And NFTs, being non-fungible, represent unique physical and digital assets. Each NFT is recorded on the blockchain, has metadata, and a unique identifier that make it impossible for NFT to be exchanged for equal to one another. So that's what about NFTs. Also, NFT technology has a lot of visible advantages, as there's a lot of problems that exist on the internet today. As everything becomes more digital, there is a need to replicate the properties of physical items like scarcity, uniqueness, or proof of ownership. With NFTs, digital items can be tokenized to create a digital certificate of ownership that can be bought and sold. Also, the NFT technology provides content creators a unique opportunity to monetize their work. Due to this, they no longer have to depend on the creative industry's middlemen, such as galleries, auction houses, or major record labels. Instead, content creators can sell their work directly to the audience in form of NFTs, which also allow them to retain most of the profit. So to sum up, the main benefits of the NFT technology are, first of all, the uniqueness, as unlike cryptocurrency, which requires all tokens to be identical, each NFT is unique. Ownership records are stored on the blockchain. Every NFT has an owner, and this is of public record. And due to advantages of blockchain technology, content creators can claim royalties directly and access global markets. So, but biometric-based NFTs comes when we are talking about the NFT technology flows. Because despite of the apparent advantages of NFT solutions, it is still difficult not to pay attention to several problems because some known issues are still here. There is still difficulty in finding the original owner of the NFT, difficulty in assessing the uniqueness and understanding how many copies exist, and difficulty in determining the value of the NFT. On top of that, copyright protection issue arising more and more often. I guess you all used NFT marketplaces, and when uploading content to it, to an open and non-curated NFT platform, never stop wondering that absolutely any media file can be sold on your behalf. It may be a selfie taken a few seconds ago, a picture found on the internet, or the drawing of a well-known artist. So all these problems are still exist. And we at Humanode have been solving these problems and eventually came to the conclusion that biometrics may come to the rescue here. And we even coined the term biometric-based NFTs to describe this phenomenon. So traditionally, to solve the copyright problem, researchers distinguish three possible ways of proving someone's identity. First way is by using something a person has, whether it is an identity document. Second way is by using something a person knows, like a secret phrase or a password. And third way is through biometrics, like through what a person is. Sorry. And since the biometric identifiers are unique to individuals, they are more reliable in verifying identity than other methods. Also, it is fast and really easy to use. Utilizing biometrics as one of its core technologies, we at Humanode create the decentralized biometric identification layer. And it can be used not only on the native Humanode platform, but can be used in a variety of platforms and decentralized applications, including popular NFT marketplaces and services. And these biometric identifications ensure that NFTs are unique, authentic, and it partially eliminates the copyright problem. These biometric identifications are likely to be tied in as an option for user identification in the NFT platform in form of wallet browser extension or as a decentralized application. And they will provide a simple way to interact with blockchain-based services and offer the most friendly user interface for non-techie users, for example, for members of art communities. What's more, there will be no more concerns about data privacy. Humanode utilizes crypto biometrics, which is based on a stack of various disciplines and technologies such as cybersecurity, encryption, liveness detection, and zero-knowledge proofs. And once content creator or buyer log into the Humanode, the one-to-N search and matching operation happens in an encrypted space. And because it is zero-knowledge base, the only piece of information that is searched for and is given out is if that user is registered or not. Also, content creators and collectors will be able to stay pseudonymous while utilizing blockchain-based applications without the need of revealing their identity, but only by proving they are real human beings. With Humanode biometric identifications, they will effortlessly access global wallet, access their wallets, mint and sell tokens, and sign transactions in the most accurate and secure way. Also, talking about metaverses, due to Humanode technology to enter them and to buy and sell tokens there, artists and collectors will only need to scan their faces, which is fast and easy. And the same can be said for video games, decentralized music and video streaming platforms, and other NFT-related services. All this greatly simplifies interaction with the NFT ecosystem for both content creators and collectors, as you can see.
Okay, well, thank you, Sasha. That is a very detailed and good explanation here. Dato, perhaps you have some questions for Sasha. I know you've been itching there. Dato?
Yes. Well, I have a lot of questions about biometric NFTs. Actually, we've been discussing a lot of them lately, as it's an obvious a use case for kind of verified identity through biometrics. And well, basically, my question is what um, levels of biometric defense in terms of modalities uh, Sasha thinks is suitable for different kinds of NFTs.
Okay, it is rather a tough question.
Yeah, well, that's true. But still, out of the research that we carried out, what do you think suits? What kind of modalities do you think suit to hold your NFTs and secure them?
I guess the basic facial recognition with liveness detection is okay for now, and this because it is easy to use for non-techie members of crypto communities. But if we are talking about some auctioned NFTs, I guess the more the better. So we can add maybe iris or uh, some modalities that are also not very complex and easy to use.
Also, there was an idea that I had that I want to kind of brainstorm with you guys is basically, it's there's a lot of NFTs that are basically generated, right, based on something, and it would be interesting if we could, extract some biometric feature vectors and kind of use them to generate an NFT based on that. So you kind of your biometrics are included into this NFT, and you can prove it not just by verifying it on blockchain, but because if you generated this NFT once again based on your biometrics, it would fetch the same result. So it's like biometrically encrypted into the NFT itself. What do you think about this?
Well, actually, if you're asking me, I think it's quite an interesting concept here, but somebody that might be even better in replying to this is Rafa. I see Rafa here. How plausible do you think that is? Rafa, are you able to speak here? Let's see if I can. There you go. You should be able to speak now.
Yeah, hi. Can you repeat the question, Dato?
It's less of a question, more an idea for using like your biometric feature extracted vector to kind of generate an NFT, so that your biometric template kind of takes place in the generation of the NFT itself.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about this some time ago. Thanks to Victor inquiring about this, and yeah, I think it's possible because essentially when you define an NFT, you take a hash of something, and you may take the hash of this feature vector, for example, and then this will go to the smart contract where the NFT is defined, and that way you will have a unique hash associated with the feature vector of your face. So yeah, I think it's possible.
Great. Thank you, Rafa. Sasha, do you have any thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's a great idea, and I'm waiting for it to be implemented as soon as possible.
I wonder how hard it would be to implement it.
Actually, it's not hard at all. I think that the smart contract for NFT are well defined, and it won't take too long to define the smart contract. The only thing is how to link it with the feature vector. But once you have the feature vector, you take the hash of it, and the only thing it's that you need to assure that the feature vector is will be always consistent. That's something that not always may be possible, but once a couple of things are cleared, I think that define the smart contract for the NFT will be easy.
So, Rafa, would you say that we would need collective authority for making the NFTs work?
Yeah, the collective authority may do that. Also, I heard something about zero knowledge that Sasha was talking about. I think that that could be also interesting, how to actually prove that the feature vector is from the face of the user. But yeah, the collective authority could be in charge of defining the smart contract for the NFT.
I'm just thinking it would be strange to own an NFT generated based on biometrics of some person, but it belonging to your biometrics. Isn't that
You
weird?
can sell yourself your biometric image. which
Can you
Yeah.
can you elaborate?
Well, I mean, an art which one person can create only one time, and that's why it can be unique in some sense because it's minted by the person himself, paying just the network to create the art, and then popular people can sell it to anybody. That's what I'm talking about.
That surely sounds weird right now. But I mean, if you can prove the originator of this NFT through the biometrical kind of through reverse, like through pushing the same hash of this person through this smart contract to fetch the same result, well, it belongs to you, so you can prove the originator of this NFT.
So the first address to print is the originator.
Yeah, you can basically always verify the person who created this NFT because his biometrics are kind of a part of this generated NFT.
Yeah.
But it can be owned biometrically binded to other person because you can sell it. Very strange stuff.
Very, very strange, but very intriguing here. So we're about 26 minutes into this episode right now. Might as well give a chance for anybody to ask any questions they have. I know everybody is shy here, so it's rare that I see any hands up, but if anybody wants to ask questions, now's your chance. Raise your hand or type something in the chat, and we can have Sasha answer the question. And if not, Dato. Oh, okay. Wonderful. We do have one question here from Max. Go ahead, Max. You should be able to speak now.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Hey everyone. I want to congratulate the team of the progress of developing the project, and I just have three simple questions regarding the testnet. So the first one is how many nodes are currently running? The second one is there this limit of how many nodes can be running in the testnet? And the last question is when we can wait for our emails, like approving for testnet, because I'm waiting for my email for like few weeks and I really want to run the node and I actually can't wait. So I just want to know when we can expect our emails. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. So actually we have most of this will be talked about in the second half, but we're close enough to the second half. So let's answer some. I believe we have how many applicants now?
Well, I just checked, Shannon, and I can answer all of that. We have applicants. Oh, I didn't check. It's about 6.5 thousand people. We sent letters to still like 300, 350, and that's because we don't want everybody to enter until we have the desktop app, because people have some difficulties, and always with our current binaries, but they work fine anyway. So we are in the process of internal testing of desktop app. We don't have any limits for now. Actually, our goal is to have as many nodes as possible during this testnet. And well, the desktop app is coming end of this month, beginning the next one. Meanwhile, we'll be like inviting about 100 people a week. That's the plan.
Yeah, and for now, 120 nodes is running. I've just checked in town telemetry.
So,
Okay, could I ask one more question?
go ahead.
So you want to send out emails to all those over 6,000 people, yeah? Like you're planning to do?
Yeah, we're planning to do that as soon as we have the our desktop application running.
So that's just a question, yeah?
Yeah, just one thing that you need to keep in mind is that, in the beginning, as we started, we're testing the initial stability of the network itself, and of course, we were working with some, how shall I say, a very crude application, and now that we're realizing that it is a little stronger than we expected, we're ramping the process up, and with the learning that we're getting from the testnet so far, Dimitri and other developers have been working extra hard in creating a good desktop app that actually negates a lot of the earlier issues. So it'll be much easier for the new Humanodes to join and test the network. So it might be a little more time before you're able to join, but we do plan to reach out to everybody. Personally, I want to see over 10,000 nodes running in the testnet. But 100 users a week for now, but it will be ramped up rather quickly as we see that the desktop app is more stabilized.
Okay, great. Thanks for your answer.
No problem. So do we have any other questions concerning biometric-based NFTs or the testnet? If not, let's go back to Dato. I can see in your eyes across the ocean that you have a couple more questions for Sasha.
Sasha, do you have any plans for the future to launch your own NFT project?
Actually, I already have a few collections. Maybe some new one about Humanode someday.
Well, Sasha, you're going to have to teach me how to do it. You know, I am a photographer, and I do some interesting work with my photographs at times. Might be interested to turn them into NFTs. Perhaps you could teach me.
Sure, and with Humanode, it will be really fast and easy, not as it now.
Cool. So,
I propose, Shannon, that we have a little bit of tech talk.
okay.
Because sometimes people want to know how exactly we will be, or we're planning to architect the, the addition of biometrics to NFT ownership. And as I remember, we discussed it several times with Dmitry mostly. Sorry, Rafa, you've been busy with the encryption of them. So I decided just to ask Dmitry back then. Dmitry, I wonder, what's your stance on how we can, what's the easiest way to implement that? I mean, the ownership of biometrics in NFTs.
Interesting question, but let me clarify the main thoughts of what would you like to listen, what exactly, like, it's a basic approach to implement ownership. Maybe your question is more connected that we don't have exact account ID, like we don't have human, but as I understand, we will have our feature vectors and we can manipulate with it, and we have different cryptographic functions that can that allows us to make any decision according authorship of NFT tokens and this account.
Right. Yeah. I remember we mentioned that we could build a smart contract on Ethereum that will be responsible for, input and outputs of the question. Well, is this the same unique person who registered in this Ethereum wallet before, or no?
Yeah, I guess we can in case we would like to have authorship with NFC tokens here during maybe enrollment of person, we will have a matching with the Ethereum address, and after that we will simply just implement required our functions that can submit transaction in Ethereum, and after that, like we can have a specific function on Ethereum smart contract that will verify that like this authority really represents required authorship for this NFC token. Does it make sense?
That's a pretty brief and concrete explanation. Thanks. You remember all of that.
Thank you.
So, Victor, any other points that you think we should cover here, or do we want to go in to bring Dima back in to talk about the testnet a bit?
Yeah, I guess people are kind of interested about our next steps beyond the desktop application, and maybe Dima could talk about the runtime update that he was working on lately, and what difference will it make for the test node runs.
Yes, sure. Maybe in short, I can say that in general, testnet is running in a very good way. Yeah, we had different issues, but in a lot of cases, they are connected with simple mistakes from users. But anyway, we are really grateful that you try our testnet. We've got feedback, and we try to catch all your thoughts and comments for the future. Even I remember that a lot of people just ask, okay, maybe it's possible to make a notification to Telegram in case your authorization is expired. Yeah, all of this stuff we will consider, and we will do on our future release a little bit about desktop. Yeah, it's like for the last stages, we've done a lot of things according, like to allow you to use desktop on your laptop and to launch the node on virtual machines like host you use. Yeah, it's will be released in the near future, I guess. Yeah, and maybe I was able to hear a lot of questions like how I can understand when my ticket is expired. Yeah, we have such notion in our testnet that your ticket is valid in 72 hours. But here I would like to note that this number 72 hours in terms of block numbers. Let me explain why it is. Because in general, we suppose that block can be produced in one slot, one block, one slot, and this slot is about 6 seconds. In case block produced in more than 6 seconds. It can be due to network connection, low latency. It can be more higher. In this case, your ticket will be expired in more than 72 hours. I'm talking about usual people, 72 hours, for example, Unix milliseconds. Yes, that's why it's difficult to trigger. For example, you got the first ticket, for example, on Monday, and for current case, it won't be expired on Wednesday because, as I described before, we have in our current implementation the nodes 72 hours in terms of blocks. And after that, we decided that, okay, it's will be better to people to manage, to understand the ticket expiration in usual 72 hours, Unix milliseconds. So, and we've decided, no, first of all, we decided to research how can we to do. In general, I guess a lot of you know that blockchain, blockchain, it's like a code, it's a business logic that operates any changes with the blockchain state. Yeah, and in case we would like to change this business logic to process different stuff of blockchain state, we need to update our thought. And in a lot of blockchain, it's done by hard forks, soft forks. Yeah, but one of the unique feature of Substrate, it's a forkless runtime upgrade. How it's done, I don't know how many, there are a lot of here technical guys, but we'll try to explain. Before, a lot of blockchain, you can represent like one component, the first layer is business logic of blockchain. We can call it runtime. On the second layer, we have database. It's key value data that represents, for example, our account and our balance. And in Ethereum and Bitcoin, for example, this part are independent. So in case you would like to change some business process logic, you need to update your runtime. And runtime, it's not a part of database. That's why you need to do hard fork, soft forks. How Substrates decided to proceed with it? Runtime, it's a business logic that processes our transactions, any blockchain changes. But here, like runtime is a part of database. So imagine that in Substrate, you really can change a code by changing, for example, you have a key code. For current moment, it's version 1. In case I would like to run a new version, you just change, okay, set this key code for this value runtime version 2. It's a little bit magic, but really it's simple, and I've been researching on it, and it's really works. And even in our case, it works. I've already verified it, and in the near future, we are going to do a forkless runtime upgrade on our testnet, and we will introduce like a new type of tickets where your expiration time will be not in terms of blocks, Substrate blocks, Humanode blocks, but in terms of usual Unix milliseconds. Even if you are a technical guy, you can easily implement your own script that will get your ticket from the system. You can convert it to usual system time, Unix time, and after that you will have a notification that your ticket is expired. Please proceed with a new one by passing authentication. I've tried to do it as simple as possible.
Well, thank you very much. I believe that was as simple as it could get. Do we have any questions here? This is a perfect opportunity to pick Dimitri's brain. So if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or type it out. And
I really believe, Shan, that was one of the easiest explanations of what runtime is created for and how it can help your blockchain that I ever listened to.
cool.
I guess even we can publish an architecture how runtime upgrade works, because I've done research and it's difficult really was to find a good explanation. I guess our lead developer will review it, and in case it's good, we can also publish the article how it works.
Oh, that would be so helpful. And I would love you if you would do that. We do need some good tech articles to be published.
Yeah, and I guess, yeah, we really can start with it because it's an interesting case. There are not a lot of questions in general in Substrate forums, because all of them mostly connected like how to implement pilots, how to use current logic. Substrate runtime is quite interesting and complicated topic. Even there are few special interview with Parity Tech about runtime upgrade, and yeah, I guess it will be interesting for our audience because it's really provide unique feature focus on time upgrade, and it's provide a lot of flexibility in the future, and I believe more security in case we operate with hard forks and soft forks.
So, Victor, do you have any additional questions that you think Dimitri would be good at answering for us?
Do you think, Dmitry, that the parity and substrate technology will be one day to the point where we could, with the runtime, will make the upgrades as consensus as easily with our regular updates of the blockchain?
Yeah, I guess it be, and even there are special repositories that track all runtime upgrades with Substrate. Yeah, like from my point of view, during my experience with different blockchains, it really was difficult in case there a bug, an issue with current with current runtime that process business logic of blockchain. It really was like difficult, and sometimes it's even insecure, because in case there is a hack, your account has been hacked as well, and you can lose all your money. And to prevent it, you need a lot of time and a good cooperation with the network itself. But in Substrate, yeah, it's really works, and I believe it one day it will be like it's our daily life to make runtime upgrade.
Thank you very much, Dimitri. And so we are down to 10 minutes left here. I am wondering if anybody has any questions. Now is your chance. You can raise your hand. Since we're down to 10 minutes left, nothing is off limits. Feel free to ask anything about anything, actually. And actually, to make things interesting, I will be allowing everybody to speak here. So don't feel shy and speak up. Okay. Since everybody is still shy, I might as well go ahead and go for some random questions. Rafa, out of curiosity, what have you been working on these days? Just at the level that, nothing confidential, but have you found anything interesting or exciting? Or might be muted here.
Yeah. I'm happy to share our progress. In the last few weeks, we have been working on how to not only manage the feature vector in a private way using homomorphic encryption, but actually how to operate with this encrypted feature vector, the feature vector in encrypted form. And actually, I think we have a very interesting progress there. We are close to implement it. And we're using a concept that is in the white paper. It's not as confidential as you may think. It's the concept of collective authority. And this collective authority will be subset of the whole network that will manage. It's like you don't have in this blockchain or in this network a central authority, but you will have a set of nodes that manage several protocols for making the authorizations and several cryptographic calculations. And it's a concept very similar to consensus in blockchain, but we're defining it from scratch because there are not protocols or consensus out there that are suitable for our case. So we need to make it all from scratch. But despite the fact that it had been very difficult to find the exact protocol, I think that we are close to implement it in a practical way, and I think that we are in the right direction. Yeah.
Cool, thank you. And just as a reminder to everybody, if you haven't, just in case you haven't read the new and updated white paper, it is available to read at whitepaper.humanode.io. Please do access this and take some time to read it. I mean, it is quite an interesting read, and it's actually quite a read. So you might want a very large mug of coffee to go with it, or tea, depending on your preference here. But I believe you will be quite amazed, especially the portions talking about the biometric approach to user identification. This is an area, and of course, the crypto biometric blockchain protocol. These are areas that have been worked extensively, especially by Rafa, and there is quite a lot of information. And if you are a math person, unlike me, I'm quite sure you're going to like what you see there. But even if you're not a math person, you'll get a very clear understanding of what is going on. So please do take the time to access it. So 5 more minutes left in this episode. Anybody have any comments, any questions? Perhaps I can start calling out names to see if you're interested in speaking. For example, Johnny. Hi, Johnny. How are you doing there? It's good to see you again.
I'm great, guys. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
I did
Yeah.
want to ask you something that is maybe not related directly to Humanode, but I wanted to hear a little bit about Paradigm.
Okay.
Yeah, who you are, your history, and how is it connected to the project? What other things do you guys do?
Okay. Well, Victor Adato might be the best people to answer this, but I'll be happy to. Paradigm was founded by Dato and Victor. It started out as a small VC, as a fund. Paradigm has invested in quite a few projects over the years. But aside from being an investment firm, one of the key features of Paradigm is that it is a full-blown research institute. And actually, Sasha is one of the lead researchers at Paradigm. I also help out with Paradigm in Japan and on the media aspect. But we currently are really focused on getting, basically sharing the knowledge, you're researching various projects, various traits, not only in crypto, but in science, in a very wide areas of things we find interesting, but we basically research them, try to see what is what, how the various fields are advancing, and we produce biweekly reports that is sent to anybody interested, and biweekly reports on each topic. So if you're interested, feel free to join. Sign up for the newsletter and you'll be able to get that stuff. And because Humanode was one of the original concepts from Dato and then Victor, basically the whole project, the whole Humanode project emerged from the core members of Paradigm, and of course now is a separate project, but I'd say the main members of Paradigm are also deeply involved in Humanode. So I guess you could say it's a parent-child relationship, sort of, or brother and sister relationship, but they are separate entities and separate projects right now.
Well, those kids are growing pretty fast, you know, Shannon.
Yes, they're growing extremely fast.
Cool, thank you.
No problem. So, do we have any other questions from anybody here? If not, It is just about time to call it for today.